Forces for the Steelers this year. As you said, they come in here having won 5 straight games. Now, part of that is the play of Ben Roethlisberger. He's been lights out. When I talked to Jags defensive end Calais Campbell this week, he said you put on Steelers film, and I don't know that I've seen a more efficient offense. But there's something more at play here, and that's the maturity of this group. Before these two teams met in the playoffs last year, the Steelers had players talking trash. One yelled into the Jaguars locker room, another one tweeted, looking past the Jaguars. This group, you wouldn't see any of that. This team has weathered a 1-2-1 start, and as center Marquise Pouncey told me, none of that will mean anything if we don't get past the Jags today. Rich?
Okay, Didi, thanks very much. So is the current playoff picture entering week number 11 in the AFC, as we all know, it was an NFC game on Thursday night. You've got the Chiefs sitting there at 9-1. The Patriots are the only team that's beaten the Chiefs. They're 2 clear of New England, which is on a bye week this week. The Texans have won a whole bunch in a row, 6 in a row. You got the Chargers that nobody is talking about. And interestingly enough, NBC flexed into Chargers at Pittsburgh in a couple of Sunday nights from now. The Pittsburgh Steelers won. Remember they started 0-1-1, and we're all wondering what's going on. That was way back when Le'Veon Bell was not showing up. We had no idea when he was going to show up. Well, he's not showing up now. It's official. And the Steelers, see, this week, while they were going through his belongings, seemed to think that they were very pleased to not talk about him anymore. Are the Pittsburgh Steelers built for a Super Bowl run, Michael Irvin?
Rich, with the way these guys are playing and the way they've endured all that they've had to endure this year with the Le'Veon Bell stuff, it's impossible to say they're not built for a playoff run. This game is about overcoming adversity. Super Bowl run. Okay. For a Super Bowl run. This game is built on adversity, and they have overcome all the adversity. I got to give love to Mike Tomlin here, and I saw him when we were there a couple Thursdays ago, and I told him, I said, you do us well, and he does. He's a great coach. You see, he kept this team together, kept them moving forward, found players in the process. Because the front office is the one hamstrung him without Le'Veon Bell. But he still got James Conner in there, got him going, man, got that offense going. I say absolutely. The schedule's going to be tough. You talked about the Chargers game. New England, they didn't look like New England last week, and they'll have to play New Orleans. But I say, yes, they are absolutely built for a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, they're at New Orleans week 16. They're home for the Chargers in 13, home for the Patriots in 15. Then they got to go to New Orleans.
And I think the schedule is going to show us if they're built for a Super Bowl run. I mean, offensively, I still have no questions about them. I mean, I know it's not Le'Veon, but James Conner's playing great football. They've got Juju, who stepped into, a huge role there, a dominating wide receiver. You got AB, you got Big Ben playing well. The defense, Coach, on paper, looks really, really good. But that, to me, is always the question with this team is when they don't start hot offensively, and it's happened a number of years here in a row in the playoffs, is the Jags jumped way out on top of that defense early, and their offense couldn't get them back into it. The Patriots, they always have problems. So they're going to get a great test with the Chargers and the Saints and those offenses coming in. We'll see if they're really built defensively, because you just said it. Run the football, play defense. That's how you win championships. They can outscore anybody. We don't have a question there. Can their defense shut down those better offenses once it comes playoff time?
Well, I think their defense has been opportunistic with getting turnovers, interceptions, stripping the ball, getting sacks. They're finding ways to get to the quarterback. But James Conner in this running game, you have to give credit to their offensive coordinator and those coaches being very creative, going against 8-man boxes, finding ways to get this young man going. Again, teams aren't really focused on James Conner right now. They're looking at AB, Juju. They're trying to stop the passing game. And this young man is finding ways to make plays against loaded boxes when the teams try to stop the run game. That is important because once you get to the playoffs, if you can turn around and they know you're going to run the ball, and you can get 4 yards, 5 yards, break a long one, that's huge, huh, Mooch?
It really is. And you know what, guys? This is the only team in the league that's in the top 10 in both offense and defense, all right? It's a pretty darn balanced team. And when you look at their last times in the Super Bowl for the Steelers, this offense, like you mentioned, Kurt, is much more explosive than those offenses. Their defense isn't there yet, but it's improving and getting better. The defense is sacking the quarterback better than anybody in the league right now. They're 4th best against the run. That'll be important today against Leonard Fournette. And they're top 8, in total defense and all of those statistics. So you're talking about an explosive offense, better than all of their Super Bowl teams before, with an improving defense, boy, this team right here is really dangerous, and we'll see how far they've come since last year's Jacksonville game.
It's interesting that, the stuff coming out of Jacksonville is now they're coming here to embarrass us. Now, when you get in Week 11 and the teams that are clearly out of the playoffs, they'll start coming up with these little themes to get through today.
Hold on.
And we're going to embarrass.
Hold on now. Don't do that.
That's what they say.
But don't do that.
I'm just feeling the people
Nobody's
in.
out of the playoffs right now, okay? We can make a run. It starts here.
Okay.
It starts today. And then we're going to make this run.
So let's switch it.
Jacksonville's built.
Yeah, he was saying we about the Cowboys and we about the Steelers, and now all of a sudden...
Are you saying Jacksonville's built for a Super Bowl run? We should change this?
Don't get it twisted. Let them get hot starting this game, because we always play well against Pittsburgh. Always play well against Pittsburgh.
Look how Rich is looking at me like, is he okay?
No, I mean, seriously, you're drinking the cowboy juice big time.
We got a shot.
Okay, there you go.
We got a shot.